Janice Raymon's The Transsexual Empire, The Making of the She-Male, delves into the relationship between transsexualism and patriarchal constructs, offering a rigorous feminist critique that goes beyond surface-level examinations of the subject. Raymon challenges how transsexualism emerges from and perpetuates a society that rigidly defines gender roles. Through an interdisciplinary approach encompassing science, philosophy, and medical ethics, she critiques the ideological foundations that frame transsexualism as an individual medical issue, rather than a symptom of a broader patriarchal system. Raymon asserts that concepts like masculinity and femininity are social constructions, and it is within this framework that the notion of transsexualism arises. Rather than transcending rigid sex role stereotypes, medical and psychological institutions, according to Raymon, reinforce and validate these roles. The medical conglomerate, which she describes as auspicating rather than alleviating sex role stereotypes, plays a key role in legitimizing transsexualism as a medical condition. By positioning transsexualism as a solution to gender dysphoria, the medical establishment effectively masks its complicity in sustaining gender hierarchies. Raymon's critique of John Money's scientific theories serves as a clear example of how scientific descriptions can be prescriptive rather than objective. Money's hypothesis that hormones influence behavior in alignment with sex role stereotypes illustrates the normative underpinnings of so-called scientific objectivity. Raymon dissects his conclusions, which imply that masculine or feminine minds can appear in bodies of the opposite sex. By framing transsexual individuals as biologically or psychologically mismatched, science perpetuates stereotypes of femininity and masculinity as fixed categories. Raymon argues that this approach denies the possibility of a strong, autonomous woman who challenges patriarchal norms. Instead, such a woman is medicalized as a male trapped in a female body, erasing her autonomy and reasserting traditional gender expectations. Raymon engages with philosophical concerns about free will and autonomy, exploring how patriarchal structures limit the choices available to individuals. She rejects simplistic determinism in the nature-nurture debate, refusing to reduce the desire to transition to either biology or social conditioning. Instead, Raymon posits that patriarchy creates a false binary. Individuals must either conform to the sex role stereotype assigned to them at birth, or conform to the opposite stereotype through transsexualism. This narrowing of choices undermines true autonomy, as it presents a constrained range of options that uphold the existing system of gender oppression. Raymon's argument highlights the tension between agency and social determinism, suggesting that while external forces limit individuals, recognizing and naming these forces can offer a path toward resistance and change. Her critique also extends to the ethical implications of transsexual therapy, surgery, and hormonal treatment. As a feminist medical ethicist, Raymon rejects an ethic of assimilation and integration, which she argues merely reinforces patriarchal norms under the guise of medical progress. In its place, she advocates for an ethic of integrity, autonomy, and existential courage. Integrity, in Raymon's framework, involves rejecting gender constructs that position masculinity and femininity as two halves of a whole. Concepts like androgyny, which attempt to integrate masculine and feminine traits, are also critiqued for failing to escape the binary they seek to overcome by accepting masculinity and femininity as the entire range of human characteristics. Androgyny inadvertently perpetuates the dominance-submission dynamics inherent in patriarchal ideology. An ethic of integrity, by contrast, seeks to render these dynamics irrelevant by affirming individuals as whole beings who are not defined by gender stereotypes. Existential courage, another key concept in Raymon's work, involves confronting the deep, often painful realities of personal and social existence. It requires individuals to resist the law of assimilation and instead affirm their autonomy and critical judgment. In the context of transsexualism, Raymond argues that existential courage means addressing the social forces that create gender dysphoria, rather than surrendering to medical solutions that reinforce the very norms causing the distress. By maintaining a critical perspective, individuals can challenge patriarchal language and structures rather than succumbing to their determinative power. Raymond's analysis also touches on the broader implications of transsexualism within feminist theory. She situates her work within a growing body of feminist scholarship that critiques patriarchal deception and exposes how seemingly progressive ideologies can mask systems of domination. Her work challenges readers to question the medical and scientific narratives surrounding transsexualism and to recognize how these narratives serve patriarchal interests. By framing transsexualism as a political and social issue, rather than an isolated medical phenomenon, Raymond encourages a deeper examination of the systems that construct and sustain gender norms.